I'm Andy Berg, the Environmental Stormwater Manager for the City of Sioux Falls. Thank you for coming this morning. We've got an exciting press conference today to talk about how the city proactively manages the flows in the Big Sioux River channel, both in the historic channel and also the diversion channel. To my left is an exhibit showing kind of the levee system as a whole, with all the different features that we have as part of our levee system for our flood control purposes to protect the city during river flooding events. That's only a part of what these controls do for us, though. First, on the flood control, our dam is set up to be opened up and closed to help us fight floods when they do come through the city. So that's the primary purpose of it, why it was built, what we do with it when there is flooding coming to the city through the Big Sioux River Basin. However, when there isn't a flood coming, that's when the city has the control over those floodgates and how we operate the flow of water through that dam. One of the things that we do is we maintain a pool of water upstream of the diversion dam between the dam and the weir further to the east. And that pool of water is able to provide enough water for our water division to pump out of the pump house here when we are taking water off the surface for our drinking water system. So it's imperative that we keep that pool of water there to provide that pump house with water when they need to pump. And also the pool of water helps to recharge the aquifer below us as well. The aesthetics and environmental aspects of it are a big part of it. We try and send as much flow as we can through our diversion dam during non-flood events to send as much flow around the city as possible, where it passes through around our park system on the south side of town and eventually through Falls Park. This helps with all the fish population and canoeing, kayaking, that type of thing, which is a big part of why we're here and what we wanted to bring to you today. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Don Kearney, our Director of Parks and Recreation, to speak more to those facets of the system.
Well, thank you, Andy. I'd have to say that Andy's probably one of my favorite city employees over the last couple of years. He is really actively managing the amount of water that's going through the Big Sioux River, and he can control that in a much better fashion than we used to be able to do that. And what that means for the citizens of Sioux Falls is that they've got great recreational opportunities on the Big Sioux River that if it's not managed in that manner, they really don't have as great of an experience as they would because of the amount of flow that is going through. Kayakers, canoeists, people fishing, the recreational opportunities generally along the river are really important. And I think we all understand that people are generally attracted to the river and other bodies of water, whether it be a river, a lake, or a stream. You know, that's why we have riverside dining. That's why we have parks in Sioux Falls all along the river, because people are attracted to the river. And to have the additional flows go through, it's an aesthetic benefit, it's a recreational benefit. But one of the things that Andy also touched on that I think is really important is that the amount of water that goes over the falls is a great indicator of the number of people that are actually in Falls Park viewing that natural wonder. And that is a huge piece of why it's important that we send as much water down the river, not so much that it floods us out down at Spencer Park, but enough that we get great flows. And we couldn't be happier with the amount of work that Andy's done. And the other thing, out of curiosity, I just called Todd St. Salver. He's a fisheries biologist with Game Fish and Parks. I said, Todd, what does this additional flow really do for fishing in Sioux Falls? Because there's a lot of fishermen that really enjoy using the Big Sioux as their resource. And Todd says there's all kinds of benefits. One, the additional flow provides more oxygen for the fish. It also, in turn, as a result of that, there are fewer fish kills because there is more oxygen. It allows the fish to go up and down the reach of the river by having more water for spawning and for feeding. The other thing that the additional water does that he told me, he said it really protects the fish from the predators, because in the deeper pools of water they have more protection. And so there's all kinds of benefits, both from a recreational aspect, from a tourism aspect, but also from a fishing aspect. And I got to thinking that if Andy keeps doing a really good job, he may end up having a bag of walleyes on his doorstep one of these days from the fishermen that are really going to appreciate it. So again, Andy, thanks for all your work. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mayor Huther. Mayor.
Thanks so much, Don. First of all, thanks for joining us here today. Truly appreciate the extra effort in coming out here. Cindy, Kyle, and I, we moved back to South Dakota from San Antonio, Texas. San Antonio is one of those cities that actually has a river that goes right through the heart of that city. They call it the River Walk, and it is enjoyed by millions and millions of people every year. In San Antonio, there's really only one time where the water flow is down so low that the people can't enjoy it, and that's actually when they clean the Riverwalk. That's about it. Well, here in Sioux Falls, there were times, not anymore thanks to folks like Andy, but there were times where the water was barely flowing through our Big Sioux River. In fact, it was trickling at best. And here we've got this beautiful river that goes right through the heart of our city, just like San Antonio, Texas. We had spent millions and millions of dollars on this river greenway in hopes of someday becoming that San Antonio River Walk a concept. But yet we had these times where we barely had any water going through it or even near it. No more. And that's the exciting story. And that's why I'm really pleased that the media and all of you made the attempt to be here today. It is an exciting story. It is a lot of fun. It is creating these incredible benefits, whether it be recreational, whether it be catching a bigger walleye or bigger crappie, whatever it be. But also it's generating more and more dollars, tourism dollars here to the city of Sioux Falls. And that's a big deal as well. We were trying to manipulate it or manage it with some other team members whose names will not be mentioned here today. They weren't doing as fine a job as this man, Andy Berg. He has become an expert. Again, media, this is a fun story. I don't know how the boy does it, but he's doing it, and he's doing it well. Can anybody in Sioux Falls think of a day this summer? And it's been a pretty dry summer for the most part at times. Can you think of a day where the water's barely trickled? No, it seems like it's been a consistent flow all year. You know why? Because we're managing it. In a way, we're manipulating it for everyone's benefit. That's the fun story. That's the exciting thing that's going on. And thanks to Andy and so many more within the city team, we appreciate, as well as the investment that we made with the help of FEMA and the Corps and so many others. We encourage people to go on the water or near the water, but as a city, we've never encouraged anybody to actually jump in the water and use it as their swimming hole. But we are taking it very seriously. This will be the 5th year that we've had the Mayor's Big Sioux River Summit. And the intent has been to bring more awareness of the importance of this watershed, not only here in Sioux Falls, but also down below us and up above us. And yes, we've got some good news for the people that we're going to be sharing here soon. This body, this watershed, the quality of it is improving. But it's still a very long-term journey. It's going to be an expensive journey, but it'll be one that's well worth it. Now, that doesn't mean that people are not jumping into our river. I mean, we see it. We see it all the time. And again, it's their choice. They'll have the opportunity to do that. We're not going to arrest anybody for it. But again, we'd certainly encourage them to enjoy it. And our intent today was just to let you know that we've got a really nice flow. We've got plenty of water to drink, plenty of water for job creation, and now plenty of water to enjoy and create some tourism dollars as well.